Hey all, welcome back to the channel. Something quick, something easy, something short to kind of round out the week for us here when we look at, thanks to our buddy Joe, the Meteor Hammer upgrade kit for Legacy Bulkhead. This upgrade kit, that's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby! Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is, it might be BDT-33. I'm not sure the number offhand right now. But it is the Meteor Hammer upgrade kit, which basically gives Bulkhead new forearms, bulkier forearms, as well as like his big, I don't know what we call it, the mace fist thing. It gives you that can split in half and go on both hands, and it even gives you a chain. Real chain, by the way, and you can put the whole thing together and really kind of make it like a mace flail, right? So it's an interesting yet simplistic little set. It can work in both truck mode and robot mode. Like I said, this is going to be quick, this is going to be easy, so without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a quick look at this upgrade kit. And courtesy of our buddy Joe, we're taking a look at the Meteor Hammer upgrade kit. This basically gives new forearms and a new mace flail thing for him. Yeah, so this is the way we're going to start it in vehicle mode. And now, to be fair, it doesn't really show where you now place this thing. Before I would have placed it up on top, but I mean, anywhere where there's a 5mm like port, you can put his blaster. This up here is attached via the 5mm peg up here, but it should really be back here. The reason it's not is because, as you can see, I have a peg in right here that has a chain going to it. That's part of his accessories. I could take it out, but I didn't want to. In case you didn't want to have just the chain laying around, you could, like I said, put it here. You might be able to remove this and put the chain inside where the traditional, where the original like mace was, but that's really up to you. In terms of how the arm pieces are attached in vehicle mode, rather than folding the toes up onto the heels, we use the peg holes on the heels, and we use a 5mm peg here to attach these pieces. To remove them, it's very simple. You just take it off, and again, to remove it, we just take it off, and you can see the peg here. So that's it for vehicle mode. They go on back there. So, of course, since this isn't actually about this bulkhead per se, we can go from our boy looking like this to our boy looking like this. Well, kinda. I have one shoulder mounted piece put on with his, I guess half of his mace that kind of works as like a shoulder cannon, I suppose. I'll show what you do over here. So on the tire we have a 5mm peg, or peg hole I mean. Inside we actually have a long peg and a short peg. The short peg is what fits in the tire. The long peg doesn't quite line up with it. We have to get all of the spiky bits on top first, and then we take the big piece out front, and that's where we put that in. It's a tight squeeze, but it'll go. Then we come here and we put this over the shoulder, and assuming that you line up the peg hole correctly, you'll have both shoulders with the I don't know, shoulder pieces on. It doesn't really hinder the articulation. I'm going to take that one off. It doesn't really hinder the articulation. Well, that's a lie. Yes, it does. It does hinder the articulation. I'm sorry. It looks neat, I guess, but that's not really what this is mostly intended to do. what this is mostly intended to do is work with the hands. So we have a hand here, and while you could use any of these pegs and stuff and put it on his forearm and whatnot, the intention is to take the long peg that's inside and put that into his hand, thusly, and now you give him a big forearm. Same over here. You go in, you give our boy a big forearm, and you take his mace piece and you put it on right there. Or you could put both of the mace pieces together and attach the chain, and you could have it work that way. So if I wanted to, I could take this one off and put these two together. It's just pegs and peg holes, just line those up and they go together. Thusly, you might ask yourself, well, what do you do with this thing? Well, I mean, you got pegs, a peg here, you got pegs back here. I know they're for mini cons. I guess you could put this wherever, I suppose. If you wanted to open it and see if there was a way that you could use that peg inside, you certainly could. The only real drawback with this set, only real two drawbacks with this set, is that one, the green doesn't match any of the green that's there. It's a new green, so it's a fourth green, I think, being incorporated. And two, I really wish that there was a way to extend the hands out, because I like the bulked up forearms. It's a really interesting set, but you very much have to want him to use his hand maces for it to be worthwhile. Is that a big enough reason for you to get an upgrade kit? Well, you're going to have to decide that for yourself. But if it is, then this is a great one to get. Huge shout out to our buddy Joe for sending this my way. I very much appreciate it, and I do like how it bulks up bulkheads forearms. And here we are once again, and here he is with the upgrade kit on. So I like it in that it bulks up his arms. I like that it really doesn't hinder articulation of the elbow bend, though if you put it on the shoulder, it does hinder that articulation. Because it pegs into the fist, I mean, it can literally, I don't think I showed this, but it can literally go all the way around, which is nice for versatility to get out of the way for posing. I like the chain, and I like the fact that the entire mace piece can go together to be one bit. But the one weakness I see with this set is this. If we look at this hand over here, I really, really, really wish that there was a way to have his hand, his fist come out here somehow, or something happen so that there's actually a fist there, because as it is, it looks like a great forearm, but it looks unfinished. The green is a different shade of green from anything that's here, and I think I said it was the fourth shade. It's hard to say because I feel like maybe it's the third shade. Ah, man, it's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell because the green paint and this light green, that's a close match. So maybe that's one shade of green. The like feet and the back hair is a second shade of green. I don't know, maybe it's the third shade of green. Either way, there's a bunch of shades of green going on here, right? It's a neat set, but again, you gotta really kind of want it for the sake of these pieces, right? That's the real draw here. It's neat that it can store in vehicle mode. Yes, it's a bit of parts forming, but it's the most simple amount of parts forming that you could possibly have. I think it's a neat little set. Won't be for everyone, but I think it's a neat little set. Let me know what you think about this upgrade kit for Legacy Bulkhead. Is it up your alley or not? I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, man. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. See? See what this can do? See? That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. Especially don't forget that somehow, man, some way, each and every single solitary day, whether you feel it or not, whether you realize it or not, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.